is make sure that you have a hole drilled in it. I can't put a hole in this one because I have a stone on the other side. Okay, since it was my demo thing, I was using that. Lisa, I'm putting your bezel down in your bench, just so you know where it is.
Putting it where?
I'll put your bezel. Okay, so a lot of times these bezels are not, they're pretty thick, and they don't fit your stones. This one looks like it'll probably fit okay. First thing you want to do is make sure it fits. And you would use a pair of pliers. If it doesn't look like it's falling down, sometimes the walls of the bezel are slightly bent in. You want to make sure that they are out all the way, because you can cut your stone. If you have to cut your stone and it's a soft stone, it's relatively easy to trim using a file. But onyx is not that easy to trim, so that's better. Let's see how this one is. And like I told you before, from Rio, even when they tell you that this stone, that it's cut well, you make sure that you have them test it and make sure that everything fits. I'm just pulling the bezel out a tiny, tiny bit, because I'd like to see this drop down further.
Hello? Hello?
Okay.
Yes?
Okay, so that's going to go. Let me get some wax and pull this out.
Did I pay for the shipping? Why?
Okay.
First, I understand that you can do it, but the thing is that I don't understand that you are actually offering
Okay.
you are offering
So now, we want to take a really good look at this. I'm going to borrow Lisa's pen here.
may not work.
It may not work.
Yeah, well, test it.
Oh. It works. Okay, I'm just going to be jumping on each one of these so I can grab my stuff. So the whole idea of this particular setting is that you've got a thick wall, you've got a square stone, and these are just some of the things that you're going to have to remember about a square stone. Okay, here's your wall on the inside of the bezel. Okay? First thing you have to remember is that you've got a point on your stone. You have to protect the point of the stone. These are very soft points. These are slightly rounded. But if you have something that is actually square and it has sharp corners on it, those corners have to be protected in your setting. If you go to push metal down over a sharp corner, your stone is going to break. So what the first thing you're going to do in here on this particular bezel is you're going to go into here, right into the corner, and with a ball burr, you're going to excavate this metal. Okay, so ball burr looks like this. Okay, going right into the center of that. Let me do this first.
What tool, Mary Ellen, are you using?
I'm using a ball burr. Yeah. In your kits this time, I think I put one in there for you all. If you don't have one, we have a set of them here. Let me just see if there's one in this particular kit. Here's one. Okay. This one's really tiny. I think the one that I put in your kits was just a little bit bigger, but I'll use that one for the demo. You hope so, so you can see it, right?
Well, B-A-L-L, right?
E-A-L-L. Okay, it goes in there. Tell me when.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Always use a lubricant.
It's videoing.
I'm going to go into all four corners. I'm not going all the way through. That's not what you want to do. You just want to alleviate some of this metal in the corner. Okay. Helps if you have a toothbrush. I'll pass this around.
There's a toothbrush in here. Right there.
Great. Brush that out. Okay, so the little cut goes right here. What you're doing is you're excavating this little portion of metal in here. You don't want to go all the way through though, remember? You only want to go part way into the metal, and I would say, you know, halfway is probably what, you don't want to go any more than halfway.
So Marilyn, does that go for a stone that has any kind of points on it?
Yes.
And so if it's a triangular,
Yes. Any kind of points, pear shape, marquee shape. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your dividers and you're going to put a little line all the way around on the four walls. So you balance your divider on this side of the divider, the top point of the divider on the top of the metal here, and draw a line approximately, this looks to me like it's about a 1/2 millimeter to 1 millimeter down. Now you can see this a lot better. In fact, I think I might do that if Lisa's okay with it. May I use your Sharpie, Lisa? Okay. I'm glad I sat here. Okay, so
tell me what you did, you marked.
I'm going to show you here.
Okay.
That way
It's
you
hard
can
to
see it better. This is a nice Sharpie. Okay, so now I'm marking the metal, not halfway down, it's more of like 1/3 of the way down
From the top?
from the top. I'm putting a little line in here. Okay. So now what I've done is I've drawn a line. I'm going to score that line eventually, but right now I've just drawn this line like this across here.
And what is the width of your metal that you're working with?
Well, we can measure it. Yeah, we can measure it because I have actually one right here. It is 0.5, 0.6.
So a
So-
little bit over a half.
Little over a 1/2 millimeter. That's considered a thick bezel. Okay, because it's hard to push. It's hard to push that metal. If it's a round stone, it's not so hard, but when it's square, there are a couple different things that we're going to do for this.
What's the thinnest that you go with your bezel?
I don't go anything less than 0.4.
Okay.
You can go thinner. You can go thinner, but I just don't like the way it looks when it's finished. And in some occasions I do use 0.3, but it's rare. Okay, so the next thing we have is a heart burr. And a heart burr is shaped like this. Okay. It cuts on all the sides. Okay, heartburn. There are 45-degree heartburns, there are 90-degree heartburns, there are 70-degree heartburns. Any of them work for this particular application. I personally like to use the 45. Okay. Quick change. And okay, this takes practice. If you haven't done this before, you might want to grab a piece of copper or scrap metal out of the back and try drawing lines. We are using what's called the girdle, this part, to cut a groove and to score our metal. Okay? So I'm using it on its side. And the line that I drew on there, I'm just going to follow now with my burr. Hopefully get it straight. Again, you're only cutting into the metal to score it. You're not cutting all the way through. So be careful that you don't push too much in the beginning. Ooh, there's some nice silver dust for anybody that that needs it for their wax. Okay. Toothbrush, I just had it. Ha. Okay.